over the weekend, also on Saturday, President Obama gave a speech amidst a massive winter storm.
And there's some, maybe even the majority, and the will take home less pay and fewer raises. We know that millions more Americans will lose their coverage. We know that our deficits will inexorably continue to grow because health care costs are the single biggest driver. So, just in case there's any confusion out there, let me be clear. I am not going to walk away from health insurance reform. I'm not going to walk away from the American people. I'm not going to walk away on this challenge. I'm not going to walk away on any challenge. We're moving forward.
On Sunday, right before the Super Bowl, in an interview with Katie Couric, he was cornered on this and she asked the details of what he actually planned to do in order to make what he said on Saturday come true. Now, he said he wants to have a televised meeting with the GOP and Democrats to discuss health reform. He had a similar thing, was it 2 weeks ago? A week ago, where he went to a GOP House meeting. And why do you think President Obama would want to do this again?
Go ahead, Ryan.
Try to drum up more support for healthcare again, because everyone's just waiting on the issue. They're trying to decide whether it's worth it or not. Obama wants to get out there and convince the public that, hey, healthcare is important and we need to get this done. And doing it with Republicans will show it's kind of non-bipartisan and this just needs to get done.
I'm gonna agree that he's trying to drum up support, but I think it's for a different amount of people. I think it's for the senators, because it was held just for the Democrats in Congress, right?
This last speech on Saturday, but not the one that I'm asking he'd want to do. He's going to have a televised meeting with Republicans and Democrats to discuss health care.
Well, never mind. I missed that entirely. But still, I think it goes back. It's both Congress and the American people. He wants to drum up support because he knows that Scott Brown election that we talked about really just deflated his whole health care bill and the way he wants to reform it. So I think he's trying to get people, back up, ready to go, because people such as Chris Dodd last week said that they wanted to take a month off or something like that, and and he's saying we're not taking any time off. We're going to keep it going. So
Well, what do you think will come out of the meeting? Do you think that will work?
I really don't know. It would come down to what he says and how he says it to see if it actually drums up support. But Obama is very good at the whole motivational speech to get things rolling again.
See, if he's doing it for the American people, though, I think those people already disagree with a lot of what his bill is. In that speech, he goes on to say, we're not going to go back and rewrite it. We're just going to, keep pushing it through. And that's what's making American people upset, is this whole public option, and they don't think the government should do it. And those are fundamental issues that people aren't going to be persuaded by, an over-the-top, dramatic, emotional, inspiring speech. That's not going to change it. So there really is no point other than he's just being stubborn. You have to work with other people to get this passed. You can't just shove it down people's throats, and that's what people are upset about.
Yeah, I think especially the move to videotape it is actually more of a move to bring Republicans in and then try to belittle their argument. I think that it's more about, I'm going to have you come in, I'm going to have you bring in all your suggestions, and they're going to have to come in very prepared, because I think the entire point is to show to the American people why his is the correct one and why theirs is wrong. I don't think it's about transparency. I think this is a purely political move, because anybody who knows anything about politics knows that no decision is made in front of a camera. Yeah. No decision is made in a committee meeting. They're made in the random informal meetings.
Mm-hmm. About that meeting, it's going to be kind of interesting, because if you guys remember the State of the Union address, he said to the Republicans, we're going to have meetings and stuff like that. They actually had one like that, and Fox News cut the feed because they were getting just crushed by the president.
Really?
Yeah. So that's just something to look out for. But I agree, though, that is a clearly political move.
Yes. Now, there's just one other thing. I think the one big impact this will have, because I actually find this surprising that he's going to, I guess he's put so much political capital into it, it would be ridiculous for him to not continue. But by having this meeting, by making this so public, he's going to devote everything to healthcare again. I think he's going to ignore jobs, and it's going to be about healthcare, which is, I'm going to go ahead and commend him in terms of being sincere in his beliefs, because this is not a political, that aspect, the fact, yes, the fact that they're bringing in cameras is political, but not the move to continue on healthcare, because no side is happy with him.
I think he has to do that, because if he gets shut down by Republicans on his main issue, the Republicans will just think, hey, if we can do that on his main issue, we can just shut him down to every single thing that he wants.
And his supporters, the supporters are going to be upset if he gives up on that issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he's put too much of his political capital just to give up on this. He has to go through with it all the way.
Well, they keep drumming back up that clip from a week ago where he says he'd rather be a one-term president who stood up for whatever he believes or whatever, you know what I mean, that whole thing. And they keep bringing that back up, and they think that's what he's doing and all that. I'm not sure, but I do think that if he's going to devote everything when you're going to be this unpopular, he's at least sincere. But I don't think a video camera needs to be brought in, although that's supposed to make us think how wonderful our politicians are, that they can come together in front of us and finally meet in a bipartisan manner, while we're supposed to ignore the fact that it's disgusting that they haven't been doing it for the past 10 years.
Yeah,
I would agree.
But he said that we're going to bring in cameras. I think he's finally trying to bring in the cameras now that the public has been in an uproar about no cameras. I think he's trying to make a few amends there.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's keep the show rolling with the first of our 3 trivia questions in our Are You an Informavore segment. The first question we have, how many future U.S. presidents signed the Declaration of Independence?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's specific.
Yeah. We'll give you guys a little bit of
That's
time to think about
ridiculous.
It's tough.
Okay.
You want to give me a guess?
I'm going to say 7.
No.
I was going to go with 5.
2.
2.
Thomas Jefferson and John
Really?
Adams are the only 2.
Monroe or nobody? Oh.
I don't know. I was surprised by that too. So it's not like I knew that.
I thought it'd be like the first 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Well, we
That's
all learned
upsetting.
something today.
Jeez. All right, let's move on to our next story.